In this video, I'm going to show you how to 10x the amount of ad creatives your e-commerce brand can produce using Google's new AI, Nano Banana Pro 2. This tool completely changes the game and is by far the fastest and cheapest way to scale creatives in 2026. No photo shoots, no retouching, no designers. Just instant, high quality ad iterations that look like they came straight out of your brand studio. You can now generate hundreds of product photos, angles, models, and full ad variations in minutes. If you've ever felt like your brand is losing because you can't produce creatives fast enough, I'm going to show you exactly how to solve that. Hey, I'm Mike. I'm an ex-physicist who now runs an ad creative agency. I've been scaling e-commerce brands for the last few years now, working with their ad creatives. We've had millions spent on testing our creatives, fixing them, and finding what actually moves revenue for DTC brands. And if you want my team and I to build the entire creative system for your brand, from ideation, scripting, and production to scaling performance across Meta, TikTok, and YouTube, make sure you click the link in the description to book a call. Now, back to the video. Honestly, I've never seen anything change the creative game as quick as the Nano Banana Pro update. So first things first, we're going to come over to Higgsfield.ai. And you're going to be met with this homepage. What we're going to do is click on image, the Nano Banana Pro. So Nano Banana Pro allows you to create hundreds of ad iterations in minutes by swapping individual elements while maintaining the core design. Okay, now we've made it to the site. Now, but you might be wondering, what exactly are we going to iterate on and how do we find that? So you're going to go over to your Meta Ads Manager. And what we want to do now is actually find high converting ads that are already in our Meta Ad account and iterate on that. So yeah, so for example, now this is a screenshot of a Meta Ad account. So what I want you to do is we're going to use the, obviously look at the ad creatives that are scaling. Once you've opened that, we're going to go and click on columns performance. Click on this compare attribution settings, and then click on incremental attribution. Okay, so you're probably wondering why we're segmenting it like that. Well, because what we want to do now is find the ads that are giving us the highest net new purchases. So as you can see here, we've got a row that has all the purchases here. And what we'd see is that we've had 1,555 purchases. But what we can see in the purchases by attribution column is that we have 786 net new ones. That's what we want to use to basically find what's actually giving us the highest number of net new purchases. So you're going to have your standard ROAS column, but you'll also have your ROAS by attribution column. Now that's the column we want to look at because we're looking at the ROAS that's providing a new net purchases. So we may look at the column and see one creative is driving a higher ROAS, but what we need to look at is the ROAS that's driving new purchases itself. So that's the creative that we're going to use. Obviously, I can't show you the actual ad creative because that's confidential to the client themselves. So what I'm going to do is find another brand and show you an interesting way to find an ad that may be performing quite well for them. So we're going to go to Meta Ad Library. We're going to change this to all and change this to all ads. And we're going to look at the brands that I've been liking. I've actually bought one of their products recently and I like their ad creatives that they've been putting up. So a very simple way to find if an ad is performing well for a brand is if they've been running it for quite a while. So for example, we got ads that are launched in December. If we continue to scroll down, we're going to see ads that have been launched in October, August, September, etc., etc. So this is like a bit of an indicator that, okay, this ad is actually running well for them because they haven't switched it up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to find a static here. So for example, we've got this guy here. So click see all details. Obviously, this static is working quite well for them. So we're going to use this as our base ad and we're going to iterate on this. So going back to Higgsfield, we're going to be using Nano Banana Pro, as you can see. What I'm going to do first is auto aspect ratio, and we're going to add that image that we've just taken from the ad library. Okay, so we've taken our best performing ad image and we've uploaded it into Nano Banana Pro 2. Well, Higgsfield, but we're going to use Nano Banana Pro. So what we're going to do is create different product variations. So very simple example. For product swaps, we're going to be changing the color of the suitcase. So we've got a base image. Okay, so what we're going to do now is basically just go to their website just to see the other colors that they have. What we've got now is this navy base color. So if we wanted to iterate this static that's working well with other colors that they have in stock, we're going to take a secondary image. So for example, it's this one right here. Let's just say this is like they say an army green. So what we've got here is an army green. I'm going to take a screenshot of that and just upload it right there. So basically we're going to say use the first image as the base image, and replace the product in the second image. And then once we just click on generate, boom, just like that, we've created a new image with this new product. And this actually, it looks literally like the original one. If I was to bring up the original one, here it is here. And just like that, we've got the second one. Just within a couple of seconds, we've been able to create a completely different variation. For the first image, you may say, okay, cool, that was quite simple. It was not that complicated. Now we've got two products here and we've actually got a person in it. So what we're going to ask it to do is swap this product out, but not necessarily with just a different color. We're going to find a completely different product. So here we've got another product here. This is their carbon fiber suitcase. So we're going to add some screenshots in here. I'm going to add all different ones of all different dimensions, or all different angles, sorry. So obviously the more data we feed to Nano Banana, the better. Okay, so use the image as the base image and replace the product with the product in the other images. I've included 3 images as of the same secondary. Do not change anything else apart from the suitcases. So what we're going to do now is actually, I'm going to change the aspect ratio. So what we're going to do is 1:1, and we're going to generate that again. And we're going to wait another 10 seconds and we should have another variation of that static. So guys, as we can see, the exact same image 1:1, and we've got the new product. Absolutely insane. And this literally just happened in a few seconds. Literally in a few seconds. So for example, now what we're going to do is we're going to pretend now this is a fashion brand as opposed to a suitcase brand. What we're going to do is show the power in variation. So let's just imagine this is a fashion brand. This is a 2-piece they have in black. And if we wanted to change it to another color, we can. Yeah, so for example, if this ad creative was performing really well and we wanted to test out another color that we have in our line, this is what we do essentially. So now we've got this image as the base image. We're going to say change the color model's clothes to gray. What we can do is get a bit more specific and add a color code. One thing I did realize here is that the AI added glasses onto it, so we're going to ask him to remove it because we didn't ask him to put it on, especially if he's holding glasses and wearing glasses. Doesn't make sense. So this is one thing you should be paying attention to when it comes to AI. Sometimes they will go off and do its own thing, so you need to obviously make sure and double check these pictures. So what I'm going to say is remove glasses from his face, and what we're going to do is change the color of his clothes to this color code. So what we normally do, similar to the very first example we did, is we'd say this is the base image. What I want you to do is take the clothes from the secondary image and add it to the first one, or swap it. So because this isn't actually a fashion brand, it's a suitcase brand, I don't have him wearing another different color outfit. So what we're going to do in this case is literally put in an actual color code for it to change to. And we're going to say keep everything else same. And this is just the quickest and most efficient way to get different variations of the same image. And like it takes literally seconds, and you don't have to hire out a whole graphic designer for it. And we're going to generate that, see what we get. So it's amazing because this AI maintains the pose, the lighting, and the shadows while swapping the product. It's so good. Boom. Now that we've come back, the sunglasses are gone from his face, the outfit has changed, and the suitcases has changed. And this is how we've been able to just in minutes literally create a completely different variation. So then now look, you're probably wondering, can we change the scene? How does that work? So what we're going to do, right, is we're going to click on edit up here. We're going to say perfect, just to let it know that the core things that we've changed are good. So yeah, what we're going to do is that we're going to change the backgrounds to the airport, but we're also going to change the model's pose and say I want the model to be standing. Let's see what we get. Boom. And just like that, this is what Nano Banana Pro 2 has created. We've now taken it from the original product photo where he was sat down with the original suitcases, and now we have them with completely different suitcases now stood up in the actual airport. So this is just quick ways where you can take one base image and create a lot of different variations based on just that. So what we will notice is that obviously now this is a 1:1 image. If we wanted to change it to 9:16 for it to suit more on like Instagram stories and those type of placements, all we need to do again is literally go to edit, click on aspect ratio like I showed you earlier, click 9:16, generate, and boom, just like that, now we have it in a 9:16 ratio. So obviously now we can go and add text, maybe some call to actions, maybe you got 50% off deal, etc, etc. Look, this is like a way to create dozens of iterations just by swapping colors, changing the product, modifying poses, and adjusting the background, literally testing different lifestyle contexts in that as well. So all while maintaining the original elements of your winning ad. So the advantages of this, right, you've got hundreds of iterations you can do in minutes versus days with designers. The cost as well, this as opposed to hiring out a graphic designer. The detail accuracy as well, it maintains precise product details unlike any other AI tools. And of course as well, if you're a founder or a marketer, like there's no design skills needed. So this levels the playing field for all advertisers. So here are some pro tips, right? So high creative volumes is currently the way to win on Meta ads right now. So use this tool to test different colors, poses, and contexts quickly. Focus on ads with incremental ROAS, not just regular ROAS. Start with variations that require minimal changes, then get more complex. Be patient with prompts. You may need to refine 2 to 3 times to get perfect results. So guys, if you want your e-commerce brand to win in 2026, you have to outcreate your competition. And Nano Banana Pro finally makes that possible, even if you don't have a big team or a super big budget. So if you found this helpful, make sure you hit subscribe, because I'm breaking down an entire series on AI creative systems, ad strategy, and what's working with brands scaling right now. It's been Mike, it's been real. Thank you. See you in the next video. Peace.